There we are. We're live now. Let's wait for people to join. Make sure to get this one out. Hold on, people. Just getting out to the group. Just a second. There we go. What a pain in the boo-boo. There we go. There's people there. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm trying to just make sure I got all my ducks in a row. As long as I've been doing this, I still am not used to this. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Sherman. Hi, MJ. Sorry, I have to look over this stupid thing. Hi, Stacy. What's going on, Scott? India, sweetie, how you doing? Sandra, hi. Is it Caesar? Hi. Rhea, hi. Janice, hi. Kelly, hi. Trying to say hi to everybody. Robert, hi. Who am I missing? Robert, hi. Ernest, hi. All right, this going by too quick. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Look, a lot of people are asking me questions about a couple of things. Two things. Let's just get rid of them really quick because I don't want to kick a dead horse when it's down. All right. No, the IQD is not live. I know you're being told that it's live, and a person is showing you that on Coinbase, this is live. But if you notice, it says the Forex versus the IQD. Doesn't say the dollar. Doesn't say USD. It says the Forex, and they're showing you a rate of like what, $1.57. That's against the cryptocurrency, the handle Forex. That's what it is, you guys. So just be careful with that. Don't be misled. It's not. You can't have IQD live on a platform and not live for the rest of the world. You know what I mean? So it has to be somewhere on a Forex, okay? So that's just bullshit. And I just want to get that out. We like what they're doing as far as the banking reform has been going on, but the banking reform has been going on for quite some time. But what I don't like today, I released a video showing you guys that once again, Iraq has gotten in trouble through the Refidian Bank. And the Refidian Bank, just so you guys are aware, is people like Maliki and them have their little paws in banks like that, okay? So you have to be very careful when it comes to this kind of crap. What they were doing was transferring and helping money going to the Houthis, which is a no-no. This is against the U.S. And nobody should be surprised because you have a group of Iranian-backed politicians running Iraq, and Iraq needs to do something about that, okay? But despite all the bullshit that's going on there, al-Sudani has really done one hell of a job, you guys. And we got elections come up here in November. We got to hope that he gets back in there because every time a new election happens and somebody new is chosen, man, it's such a hassle and there's so many delays and months go by before we find anything out. We don't want all these kind of delays. Al-Sudani has done a great job for the Iraqi people, so much so that his own group of people, the coordinated framework, are trying to figure out how to remove him. Okay? Banking reform is really important. No, they do not have a central bank digital currency. And I don't care what anybody tells you. They do not have one there. They're reforming their banking. They're reforming their banking sector right now, big time. And they are trying to get interconnected with the rest of the people out there on an international scene. All right. We see that happening. But I don't want people to misunderstand because people use this to try to convince you that at any time the rate's going to change. And the reason why nobody can predict what rate it's going to be, and I'm going to tell you right now, nobody can. Because in order for the Iraqi dinar to be on the Forex, it has to free float. And you don't get to set the rate at free float. That means that people, the market, determine the rate. So anybody out there going, oh, I think it's going to be $7, or I think it's going to be $20, or I think it's going to be $3, are full of shit. Nobody knows. The market will determine the rate, you guys. Now, in my opinion, it starts off low when it first. Okay, so let me reword this. When it first gets open on the Forex, it's going to have a rate, but whatever rate it is, trust me, it's going to quickly turn. So nobody gives a shit about what it says when they first open, because you can't go, oh, I like that rate, run down to the bank, and then boom, that's it. Doesn't work that way. It's going to be whatever the rate is as it goes throughout the day. Okay. Now, do I think the Iraqi dinar has a chance to get to its old rate? Sure, I do. I absolutely do. But it's not going to happen overnight. The other thing is, we have to see if they're going to delete the zeros. And I know you guys hate this conversation, but I tell you, just to keep you guys grounded, we don't know if they're going to delete the zeros first, redenominate, and then go on to Forex, or if they just say screw it and go on to Forex with the current currency. Okay? You asking me, a lot of you people do, they go, Pimpy, what do you think? What is your opinion? My opinion is that they delete the zeros first. That doesn't mean all is lost, you guys. It could go up to a 322 rate. Are you going to make millions? No, not the way you think it is. No. But could it happen where they'll leave the zeros on? That's always a possibility, but it's not realistic. I don't want people to just go, oh, Pippy's negative. I'm not being negative. I'm just being grounded so that you guys don't get your hopes up and you guys are, putting a second mortgage on your house or spending way too much money on Iraqi dinar. Just be grounded. If it happens the way we all hope it does, and they leave the zeros there, then great. Look, I want the same thing that you guys do. I do. I want them to leave the zeros on there and change the rate. I want to be able to snort coke off hookers' asses. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying I want the same thing you guys do. Okay. First time in a long time, Lee. About 10 years, I guess. I've been pretty busy. The days of Mr. Brando. That's funny. That's where I started off of, Ed. I was on Mr. Brando's show. That's where I first started. Never thought even about having my own YouTube channel. But then I was convinced by a couple of listeners, and I started a YouTube channel. Okay, so the rate, there is no established rate. When you guys keep saying, oh, are they going to have this rate? Well, then you're talking about a fixed rate, okay? Not a free-flowing rate. If they increase the rate fixed, and in a CBDI, the Central Bank of Iraq says, hey, this is what the rate's going to be, then great, fine. As long as they're not restricted and we can trade it here in the United States, of course, that benefits other people who are outside of the United States and doesn't have any kind of sanctions or restrictions on Iraq. They can run it in. More power to them. But for us, in order for us to be able to walk down to the bank and not a damn redemption center, no 800 numbers, you just walk into your bank and you exchange your currency. That's all you got to do. In order to do that, they have to be floating freely on the Forex, okay? Sure, they might start off with an open rate, but that does not mean it's going to stay there. In my opinion, when it comes to the exchange rate on a free floating system, it's going to shoot up pretty quick because all the things that we've been speaking about, talking about how the Iraqi dinar is going to get to this rate, then when they find out that it's on the Forex, word's going to spread real quick. Even if they have nothing to do with the Iraqi dinar, even if they never even heard about the Iraqi dinar, they're going to go, whoa, we need to help get on Iraqi dinar, driving the cost of the Iraqi dinar up. Think supply and demand. The more people that buy the currency, the less that's available, the more the value goes up. So there might be an initial wave in which the value shoots up pretty quick. The reason why you want a free float and not a managed float is because a managed float means that the central bank will interfere with the rate, and we don't want that to happen. We definitely want it to free float. What we ultimately want is for it to free float with the zeros on there. Okay, does that make sense? It says there are articles that say that the older notes will coexist with the newer notes, Lee. Yeah, I know that. I know that. But if they delete the zeros, even if you have the zeros on there, once they announce that the zeros are deleted, even if you have the zeros on there, that doesn't mean you get lucky. That just means that when you go to exchange them, they're going to make sure that you understand. Yes, you have these with all the zeros on there, these notes, but understand that Iraq has deleted the zeros. So 25,000 dinar is now only worth 25 dinar. They're going to tell you that as soon as you bring it in. You don't get to go, wow, I still have these and they're coexisting. Therefore, I'm going to get rich. That's not the way we want to. That's not what we want to happen. What we want to happen is they change the rate, they don't delete the zeros. That's what we want. We all want that. I tell you guys, people are like, Pimpy gets paid to speak negatively about the Iraqi dinar. What the hell? Who the hell benefits from that? And what would be the sense of that? That doesn't make no sense. I'm just telling you for your own good, at least be aware that this is a possibility. It can happen. Can they just change the rate with the zeros on there? Of course they can. Is it realistic? In my opinion, it's not. Okay? It doesn't make any sense. In all the history of revaluating currencies, and there's a huge history of it, they've taken the zeros off first before changing the exchange rate. Could there be an exception? Of course there can. I don't want you guys to think that everything is doom and gloom. That's not true. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? It's not true. There's always a possibility it can go one way or another. But either way, even if they take off the zeros, you guys will come, you still have a chance to make money off it. Are you going to be millionaires? No, if they delete the zeros off, okay? We all want the same thing. Change the exchange rate or free float it on the Forex and don't remove the zeros. That is the ultimate goal. Likely to happen? I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't make no sense. Like I said, in all the history of the deletion of the zeros and all the free flowing currencies that redenominated, they took the zeros off first. Okay. So that's, I'm just letting you guys know that. That doesn't make me the boogeyman. That just makes me at least making sure you guys are aware and that you're grounded. Okay. Now, people keep asking me about these currency baskets, you guys. There are no currency baskets. Okay. The only time you're going to deal with a currency basket, and then you talk about which ones go first, which ones go second, is if you do a worldwide currency reset. See what I'm saying? Is that going to happen? There's always a possibility. There always is, okay? But realistically, no. What we really want is a debt jubilee. That's what you really want. A debt jubilee is when they talk, the Q people talk about this, where all these debt is forgiven and all that crap. That's what you want, a debt jubilee. But a currency reset, it's possible if you can think about this. The only way a currency reset can happen is when every single country is aboard. You see what I'm saying? Think about this. You can't even get three countries to agree on what toilet paper to use. Seriously. You know what I mean? You have to get every single country to agree to what the new currency is going to look like, what the value is going to be, and then you would do it in increments by baskets. You would use a currency basket saying these one would go first, the stubborn people will go next, like that, because then they have to weigh out the value of each of the currencies. So it's really super complicated for all the currencies to reset. It really is, because I don't think it's ever happened in our lifetime. Not just in our lifetime. I don't think it's ever happened in the history of currencies. Okay. Debt jubilee, it's happened before. That's different altogether. But a currency reset, the only reason why I even semi-optimistic about this is because of the amount of gold that the central banks around the world seem to be storing up. It's a ridiculous amount, you guys. It's record-setting amount of gold that they're purchasing. That gives me the thought that that's a possibility. If not, then what they would do is reset the value of gold and silver and then base their currency off the current value of gold and silver, which is different altogether. Does that make sense? We say this is exactly what will happen. In my opinion, it says they'll, this from Ed, they'll drop off the decimals. They're dropping off the decimal side of the notes itself. And what does it say? Drop off the decimal side of the notes itself. Wave for it to explain me 25,000, 25,001 dinars. So it's not the decimal. It's not the, we're saying here, the decimal side of the note. No, I showed you guys this. Take a 25,000 dinar, just remove the zeros. That would be the deletion of the zeros. And I know people say, oh, no, they try to say that there's a difference between a lop and a deletion of zeros. I say, no, it's the same thing. Removal of the zeros, the lop of the zeros, deletion of the zeros, all that is called a redenomination. And if that happens, they're talking about removing 3 zeros. And then people say, Pimpy, but what about 500 dinar or the 250 dinar? Well, obviously, you can't remove zeros off those. You're right. You can't remove zeros off those. And that's why those currencies are currently not in circulation. So if they go to the deletion of the zeros, those currencies will get back into circulation because their nominations are already, because the banknotes nominal value are already low. Make sense? Don't confuse the two. The exchange rate will change, but you won't have those inflated dollars anymore. They're going to have to change the store prices on everything. They're going to have to take the zeros off, the cost of cars, how much rent is, everything like that. Everything is changed at one time. Cutest and Nassar does not exist. It never has. What do you mean? Have you not seen my video showing you guys a video from 2005 in which these people, it's funny about this because we're talking about Nasera Jacera. Back in 2005, you know who the good guy was? I'm not even kidding. I showed everybody in the video. Back then, Bill Clinton was the hero before Trump. Bill Clinton was supposed to save us all. He was going to take us down to Sarah Jacera, and these UFOs were going to come down and get us. I'm not even kidding. This video is from 2005 when they were talking about Sarah Jacera. As time went on, all they did was change the story to Trump is now the hero, and the Clintons were the bad people. It's really crazy story. All you have to do is go on to YouTube and go, what's it called? Something waiting on this Sarah. That's what it's called. It's a documentary from 2005. And these people are talking about how they got your DNA and that you're gonna captain your own ship. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. This to show you how crazy everything is. Pimpy Rich. I love that for some reason. Waiting on this Sarah. Is that what it is? Yeah. And I did videos on that telling people, look, this thing's been going on for a long time. How Mama B would say, hey, Pimpy. Oh, I would say, long time no see. How you doing, Mama B? Long time no see. Look, I still talk about the dinar. And people go, you always talk negative about it. What do you call negative when I don't blow the same smoke up your guys' ass as everybody else does? When do you prefer, you know how everybody says, well, I'm telling you the truth. God's working with me. You know what I mean? When you rather somebody come on and go, look, this is the truth, and then prove it to you. I'm the only content creator out there that shows you guys a proof. I don't blow smoke up your ass. I'll show you articles, research papers, data papers, reports that come out. I show you all of it. Okay. And then I tell you, look, this is what it says. This is what it means. And then leave the links in my description so you guys can go see for yourself. Name another content creator out there that shares that information with you. What do they try to do? Oh, I got this from my special intel person. Isn't that what they say? Oh, they signed an NDA. I can't share the info with you. Why? Just go to Pimpy and I'll give you the info. I don't have anything to hide. This one person was already telling me, I'm part of Mounty's special group, and she's not saying anything that you're not saying. Yeah, but you're paying $100 for it. You can go to my channel and get the news for free. I tell you guys for free. Let YouTube pay me. You guys don't need to pay me. I don't need special groups. I don't need a Patreon. I don't need a Zoom lens. Come here. I'm going to tell you for free. And trust me, my news is way more accurate because I got nothing to gain from it. Think about that. What do I have to gain from sharing shit with you guys for free? What do people have to gain when they're charging you $100 for a Zoom call or Patreon groups? You're spending money. There's a pressure to have to lie to you guys. Isn't that true? They feel like they got to lie to you guys because they need something special. You know what I mean? This Pimpy, I think no one of these guys nobody sends me the information. There you go. Nobody sends me the information. There are people out there. Paul does from time to time, but for the most part, I do my own research when it comes to getting information. But if you notice about the other guru, they go to the same website and regurgitate the same news. I'm like, you guys, there's other news out there besides that. Look, a person who gives it to you for free, the same information, versus somebody who charges you money. Like I said, there is a need to have to mislead and lie to you people because their money depends on it. I'm giving it to you for free. I have nothing to gain from it. I've been that way for years now. Come here, I give you the information. Go ahead and ask any questions. Let me see if I can get that. If I can get to questions from you guys. What do you guys have? What do you guys want to know? U.S. gold has been valued at what? $35. I think it's 42 an ounce. It's on the books for 42 an ounce. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, gold, you guys, on our books is listed literally at $42 per ounce. Craziest crap I've ever heard. That definitely needs reevaluating. San Francisco, I'm a couple hours away from there, but last time I went there, it literally made me cry how much it's been destroyed. Ooh la la. Mama B, is this the real Pimpy? Oh yeah, there's only one Pimpy. I'm the only one. No, that's not true. I remember people were making tons of websites using my name. I don't know if you guys remember this. During the days of Nasera Jacera, they were all claiming to be me. One person set up a website and had a whole board of directors. It was crazy. But then if you take those pictures and do a reverse picture lookup, these people are deceased. It was really sad, man. I was like, these are your people on your board. That's not me, guys. Just be careful. Come here. It's free. Look, don't take my word for it. Go listen to what they're saying on the channel that they're charging you money for, and then come listen to me and see if you're getting different news. When they say they have intel, is it truly intel? Are you getting something different that nobody else is talking about? Because I remember Snuffleupagus with the eyelashes telling everybody, I'm the only person that knows how the handle Forex works. I was like, no, you don't. Not only that, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I'm the one that told everybody that the Forex, the handle Forex, is a cryptocurrency. It's not a platform. She's trying to tell you guys it's a platform, and I was like, she's wrong. I was telling you guys the truth, and you could have got it here for free. Yeah, I would talk about Nasera Jacera, but not just like I do about the Iraqi dinar. I didn't talk about Nasera Jacera the same way other people did, you guys. Everybody that remembers me talking about it, I didn't talk about it the same way other people did it. I didn't go around talking about, well, Trump is going to be president for another 90 days and have control of the military. I didn't do none of that crap. And Trump and the white hats, none of that crap. I was like, no, let's go down this list. The list was the big thing. Let's go down this list and see which ones we could prove. So I make videos going on there trying to prove or disprove if any of these things on that list are being done. That list today, though, is way more advanced than it was before. There's actually a lot of items on that list that have already been done or being done. Like Trump doing away with taxes. He's definitely working on it. Can he do it? I don't know, but he's definitely working on it. Trump giving more money to people on Social Security? Yep. But how is he doing that? One way is he's cleaning up the way the system is. You got like over 2 million people on there that's 120 years or older. It's not that there's actually people. The news and Democrats go, Trump's trying to say that there's people 120 years or older collecting Social Security. That's not what he said. He's saying that they're in the program. There's over 2 million people listed having the age of 120 years or older, and they're collecting checks. And he put an end to that. But you got to be careful about how word magic. Remember, he says all the time, word magic. Be careful about how they're wording things. Like they're going, Trump's kicking off 10 million people off welfare and Medicare. What kind of people? Illegal immigrants, people who actually could work, so they don't deserve this. He wants to make sure that the people that are getting Medicaid and Medicare deserve it and get it. That's what he's doing. You don't have to like Trump. You don't have to support him. I'm just saying to you, don't believe all the hype that's out there. It's bullshit. Pimpy, does Trump and Sudani have to be out of country for it to happen? None of them got to be out of country. How? They don't even have to be together. The people that are responsible for changing the value of the IQD is Iraq, the central bank of Iraq. They're the only people that's responsible. They will determine what the value of the IQD is or how it's being marketed. In other words, whether or not it's on the Forex, whether or not it's a fixed exchange rate. That's why I think it's funny when I see these people going, my prediction for the exchange rate is no. The only way Iraq could be where we want it to be is it has to be free floating on the Forex, period. And if that's the case, the market, we, the people, determine the value based on supply and demand, how much we invest in it. I think there is going to be a wave of people that hear about what's going on and jump on this and drive the value up. It says, Pimpy, with the all the companies coming in, tourism, oil, gas reserves, foreign reserves, essentially, yes. But what a redenomination. I'm sorry, I can't read this for some reason, but oh, so even though they redenominated, you're saying that doesn't mean they can't revalue or reinstate the 322 rate. No, you're right. They can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, they can. They can leave the zeros on there and give you a fixed rate of 322. Certainly they can. It's up to the Central Bank of Iraq. But is that likely? No. They're gonna, in my opinion, they're gonna redenominate, and a redenomination has nothing to do with the values, you guys. It's only the nominal value, which is the number that's on the banknote. Okay, that's it. That's the difference between the two. Okay, so they will change the nominal value, but the value still stays the same as far as purchasing power. And I made several videos demonstrating that. Yeah, the 322 rate was set by Saddam, and it did hold for a little while. This is before Saddam went apeshit crazy and started printing tons and tons and tons of Iraqi dinar. Sandra, thank you. $9.99. Thank you for your honesty. I don't know why it's smearing like it's here. Thank you for your honesty. Much respect. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Yeah, the weird thing is people used to donate before and I never noticed it. But then when I went on a certain section inside my profile, it would say these people, you know, sent you donations. I was like, I didn't know they could do that. This was new to me. So I appreciate that. Yeah, by all means, you guys feel free to send donations. I'll take them. But so what is it saying here? 0.00076 to 76, in my opinion. That's what will happen. If they delete the zeros, it'll go from 0.00076 to 0.76. That'll happen. Then when they do free float, it's a free for all. The market will determine the value. The IQD is a restricted currency, not an exotic currency. I know. I heard numbnuts say it's an exotic currency. It's a restricted currency. And yeah, so yeah, exactly. It'll be under Forex. Pimpy have always said they will not lop. No, Pimpy's never said that they won't lop. Not at all. I said you guys got to be careful that they don't do it. I've never said that they won't. In my opinion, they'll most likely do that. There's nobody knows, you guys, and I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. I just want you to be aware of it. I just want you to be grounded. Nobody knows what they're going to do. We won't know until they do it. Do they take off the zeros? Maybe. Do they leave them on? Maybe. But then the markets will determine the value of the Iraqi dinar. So once it hits the Forex, there is no fixed rates. You go away from the fixed rates. You guys seen stock markets? Have you guys ever went to a stock and watched it go up and down every second? It's like going up and down in value. Same thing with the Iraqi dinar. When it's on the Forex, the value is just going to go up and down. So it's going to change all the time, constantly. That's what happens when currencies free float. Old Mel's like a never-ending car crash. Yeah, she is. She's too much. She tries really hard. She's so easy to debunk and make it look bad. You know what I mean? People are like, stop picking on her. She makes it easy for me. I mean, seriously. She says the most stupidest things ever. And all I want to do is just make sure that people are aware of the truth and don't get caught up in the bullshit and end up spending money that you don't have to. You don't have to spend $100 for a Zoom. You don't. Come here and you get information for free. Yeah, you're gonna be very hard pressed, and I'm not just bragging. This is all bullshit aside, you guys. You're gonna be very hard pressed to find anybody more knowledgeable than I am about the Iraqi dinar. people just don't like tuning into my channel because they think I'm talking negative about it. I'm not talking negative about it. I'm informing you guys about the currency. You can take and do whatever you want with the information. You don't have to believe it. Go to the channels that blow smoke up your ass so you feel good every day. Then what happens after 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? You're like burnt out going, this thing's never going to happen. Why is that? Because you've been having hope and blowing up your ass for so long that you just get burnt out. At least here, I'll keep you grounded and you'll just, you won't be so negative about it. I think it's a good investment. There's always a hope that we all become millionaires. I would love that. But realistically, I think they delete the zeros. We still can make money off it. Just watch the exchange rate. Once they go on to Forex, they're no longer a restricted currency. You can walk right into your bank. You don't need to go to any redemption center. You don't have to set an appointment. There's no 800 numbers. None of that shit. There's no tier 1, tier 2. All you do is walk to the bank that allows you to buy and sell currency and just make your exchange happen right then and there. Okay, so is that shard? Is that how you pronounce it? So a managed float will not be on the Forex. You can't have a managed float on the Forex. It has to be a free floating currency. A managed float, well, I don't know. I guess the best way, it won't be on the Forex, but it will be. What's the best way to explain this? It's not on the Forex, but it will be floating like it's on the Forex. It's going to go up and down in value, but it's very controlled. If it goes too far one way or another, they'll stop it. And that's not going to work on a Forex because people invest their money into these investment opportunities. You know what I mean? They don't want to be pissing off a lot of investors. Then investors lose faith in the currency. If they lose faith in the currency, they're not dealing with it no more. Okay? So you want it free floating. Let the market determine it. A controlled float is a dirty float. That's a managed float. Look, which I'm focusing a lot on the Iraqi economy. It's looking really good. This development road project, man, I really would love to see that thing get going. You're talking about 6 airports in 16 cities that would be connected to this development road. That is a lot of business. Not to mention, this goes right into the port of Fall. And what makes that so awesome is, they're going to be the hub, the Middle East hub for business. Everybody's going to go right into Iraq, and then you got 50 million different ways the highway goes to deliver your goods. It's going to be done in a short period of time with no hassle. Not to mention the rail lines are going to be following the highway as well. Really good. And it's going to really open themselves up internationally. So that means a lot of business, a lot of jobs. Right now, unemployment is terrible for Iraq. It needs to increase. Yeah, Iraq is Dubai 2.0. Dubai has a lot of billionaires and trillionaires invested in that. It has a potential. It has a very strong potential to do that. Okay? It really does. But these are things that are not going to happen overnight. And I know most of you are going, well, I've been investing for 20 years. I get that. But from where we are right now, there's a lot of potential. Not the blow the smoke up your ass kind of potential, real potential. 16 cities along the highway, 6 airports, tourism. Yes, absolutely. Here's something that people don't know about that'll blow your mind. You know, Iraq has one of the best cancer treatment centers in the world, and it's free. There are people who go into Iraq to get treated over there. Free cancer treatment. One of the best in the world. Unbelievable. So, you can have people flying in, flying out, doing whatever. But yeah, it looks really good. It's just unfortunately over the past 15, 20 years or so, people have been lying so much to you that there's a misunderstanding of how things work, how the economy works, how the currency values change, how they work, how they end up on the Forex, what the rate's going to be in the future. Crap like that. They've been lying to you, telling you that they can't do these big projects without changing the exchange rate. They've been doing big projects now for 20 years with a very piss poor exchange rate. Talking about, the World Trade Organization won't take them in because they have a piss poor exchange rate. What do you mean? They have Vietnam over there, and Vietnam has a worse exchange rate than Iraq does, okay? Well, they won't let the IQD on the Forex with that piss poor exchange rate. They have Vietnam on the Forex, you guys. All right, Ed, I'll take a look. Anyways, any more questions real quick? I just want to check in and say hi to everybody, just kind of answer some of these things because there seems to be a lot of confusion. And I don't want you guys, people just go, well, you're negative, Pimpy. If you think just telling you the truth is negative, then you probably don't want to be on this channel. Because no matter what, I'm going to tell you the truth. That's good, bad, or ugly. And I'm going to make sure you guys stay grounded. Do we want them to keep the zeros on and change the exchange rate? Yes, we do. Okay, I'm on the same page as you guys, all right? Nobody pays me to talk negative about the Iraqi dinar, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I keep telling you guys, if you guys want to spend hundreds of dollars for a Zoom call, by all means, by all means, boo boo, do you? You can come here and get the same news for free. Listen to what other people are saying to you, then come here. Does it sound the same? Then why spend hundreds of dollars when you can just come here and get for free? Do you see what I'm saying? Wreck the place. Anyways, look, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out now. I just wanted to say hi to everybody and just answer some questions, get this over with. There are a lot of great articles coming out, and I've been sharing them with you guys. And some people are going, "Well, these seem like clickbait or puff pieces." No, they're not. What I like about some of the articles that I've been reading, they're saying to you that this is possible, but then they go through and explain the pros and cons. It's possible if it goes this way, not good if it goes this way. That's what I want to see, information like that. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, you guys, look, I appreciate you guys chiming in. Everybody, you have a good one. Have a safe evening, and I'll catch you later. All right? I'm out.